What if the biggest thing holding you back from financial abundance is not your job, it's not your investment, or not even what the economy is doing? What if it's something way more fundamental, something you carry within you every single second? What's that? Your personal energy. Just picture it for a moment. A reality where your bank account begins to reflect not just your hard work, but the depth of your inner vitality. Maybe even your spiritual alignment. A wild thought, right? But hang with me because we are about to explore a connection that many people miss, a link that could totally change how you think about wealth itself. So we live in a world that constantly tells us wealth is purely an external gain. But what if there is another way or another layer to this whole equation? A powerful internal dynamic that, when you understand it deeper and learn to harness it, can seriously boost your ability not only to attract and build wealth, but to experience a richer, more fulfilling life. This is not about dismissing practical financial planning. No, not at all. Instead, it's about adding a crucial, often unseen dimension, a profound influence of your personal energy. We're talking about the sum total of your mental, physical, and emotional states, and for many, a sense of spiritual alignment too. The idea is pretty simple yet potentially transformative. The energy you cultivate and project has a real tangible impact on your reality, including your financial reality. Many successful individuals, whether they consciously realize it or not, tap into this. They operate from a place of high vitality, clear focus, and resilient optimism. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on this hidden connection. So, why do we so often miss this connection? There are a few key reasons. Firstly, we are pretty much conditioned from a young age to see wealth creation as an entirely outward facing pursuit. We are taught to chase external validation, the right job, the right investments, and the right stuff. The focus is on doing rather than being. Secondly, the whole concept of personal energy can feel a bit intangible or woo-woo to some, especially when you talk about it alongside something as concrete as money. It's just easier to count dollars or rupees and cents and paise than it is to measure mental clarity or emotional resilience, right? However, more and more people are starting to see how interconnected personal well-being and financial health reality are. Take financial stress, for instance. It's a major concern for millions and clearly impacts mental health, sleep, and productivity. That alone hints at the deep ties between our inner state and our capacity to thrive, including financially. Plus, discussions around money and spirituality or our inner states can sometimes be seen as contradictory. Some spiritual traditions have at times seemed to advocate for a detachment from material wealth. This has led to a misconception that focusing on your inner energy and seeking financial abundance are things that just don't go together. But a more holistic view suggests that financial resources can be a very powerful tool for good, and aligning your life with your deeper values and purpose can create a kind of fulfillment that goes way beyond just accumulating stuff. The truth is, many of us are so caught up in the external hustle that we neglect the internal landscape, the place from which all our actions, decisions, and yes, our results actually spring. We try to build fortunes on a foundation of stress, exhaustion, or a misaligned sense of purpose, and then we wonder why it feels like such an uphill task or battle. The common overlook is simply failing to recognize that our inner world powerfully shapes our outer world. Let's consider an illustrative example. We'll call him Arun. That's my name. Arun was the epitome of the daily grind. He worked long hours at a demanding job, constantly chasing the next promotion, the next pay rise. On paper, he was doing all the right things. He had a budget. He tried to save. He even dabbled in investments based on tips from friends and relatives. Yet Arun felt perpetually stuck. His income grew, but so did his expenses and his stress. He was often tired, his mind cluttered with worry about bills, about the future, about not measuring up. His physical energy was low. He survived on caffeine and quick meal. Emotionally, he was running on fumes, often irritable and finding little joy in his achievements. His personal energy, the combination of mental focus, physical vitality, and emotional equilibrium, was severely depleted. Oh, that's me. He often complained that despite all his hard work, financial security felt elusive, like a constantly moving target. He read financial advice books, listened to podcasts, but nothing seems to create a fundamental shift. Arun, like many, was focusing entirely on the external mechanism of wealth, oblivious to the internal energy crisis that was subtly sabotaging his efforts. He was trying to fill a leaky bucket where the leaks were his own depleted energy and misaligned mindset. His story is not unique. It's a reflection of how many people approach their financial lives, completely unaware of the deeper currents at play. So, what exactly do we mean by personal energy? In this context, it's not some vague mystical force, but actually a practical way to understand the core drivers of our effectiveness and well-being. Personal energy can be broadly categorized into a few key types, and they are all interconnected. First, there's mental energy. This is your ability to focus, to concentrate, to think clearly, and to solve problems. It's all about mental clarity, creativity, and that capacity for strategic thoughts. When your mental energy is high, you make better decisions, you learn faster, and you are more innovative. When it's depleted, maybe by stress, information overload, or lack of sleep, your thinking becomes clouded. Your decision making fluctuates and you are more prone to error, including financial ones. The second is physical energy. This is the vitality and stamina you get from your body. It's influenced by what you eat, how much you move, your sleep, and your overall physical health. High physical energy lets you show up with vigor, sustain your effort, and be resilient. When things get tough, low physical energy, on the other hand, leads to fatigue, reduces productivity, and makes it hard to pursue your goals with the persistence you need. The third, we have emotional energy. This relates to your capacity for positive emotions like joy, compassion, and enthusiasm, as well as your ability to manage negative emotions like fear, anger, and anxiety effectively. Emotional intelligence, being able to understand and manage your emotions and those of others, is a key part of this. Positive emotional states can broaden our thinking and build psychological resources, while chronic negative emotions, yes, can drain and lead us to poor choices, including impulsive financial decisions. Some research even suggests that emotional well-being is a kind of bedrock upon which other forms of wealth are built. Prioritizing mental health and happiness can create an environment that's more conducive to financial success. These types of energy are not in separate boxes, they are profoundly influence each other. If you are physically exhausted, your mental focus suffers. If you are emotionally distressed or drained, it can deplete your physical and mental reserves. High overall personal energy is consistently linked to greater motivation, productivity, and satisfaction in both work and life. Now, this does not guarantee wealth, but it undeniably enhances your capacity to create it. Think of it as the fuel in your tank. You can have the best car and the clearest map, but without fuel, you're not going anywhere. Let's get back to Arun. The turning point for him was not a new investment strategy or a sudden windfall. It began subtly with a growing awareness of his own depleted state. He started to realize that his constant fatigue and mental fog are not just unfortunate side effects of hard work, but were actively sabotaging his progress. Now, he decided to make a change, starting not with his bank account, but with himself. He began prioritizing sleep, making small, consistent changes to his diet, and incorporating short walks in his daily life, a bit of yoga. This was about rebuilding his physical energy. The initial results were not financially well, but he felt better, more alert. Then Arun started to explore mindfulness and simple meditation techniques, and not for some big spiritual enlightenment initially, but to quiet the constant mental chatter to reduce his stress. This targeted his mental energy. He found that with a calmer mind, he could think clearly about his finances, not from a place of anxiety, but from a place of greater objectivity. He started identifying unhelpful spending patterns he hadn't noticed before because he was always too stressed or tired, always. As his physical and mental energy improved, Arun found he had more capacity to manage his emotional energy. He became less reactive to daily stresses, more patient, and generally more optimistic. He started practicing gratitude, consciously focusing on what he had rather than what he lacked. This shift in his emotional state had a surprising effect. He felt less driven by a sense of scarcity and more by a sense of possibility. Now, here's where the connection to the well becomes more apparent. Though it was indirect at first and really grounded in his improved well being. With increased clarity and energy, Arun approached his work with renewed focus and creativity. His improved productivity didn't go unnoticed. He was able to negotiate a better role that was more aligned with his values and also came with a significant pay increase. He started making more conscious financial decisions, not based on feelings but emotional impulses or fear, but on his long-term goals and values. Now, here's where the connection to wealth becomes more apparent. Though it was indirect at first and really grounded in his improved well being, with increased clarity and energy, Arun approached his work with renewed focus and creativity. His improved productivity didn't go unnoticed. He was able to negotiate a better role that was more aligned with his values and also came with a significant pay increase. He started making more conscious financial decisions, not based on fleeting emotional impulses or fear, but on his long-term goals and values. He even found the energy to start a small side project he was passionate about, and that began to generate additional income as well. Over time, Arun's financial situation transformed, but more importantly, his relationship with money changed. It was no longer a source of constant stress, but a tool that supported a life of greater vitality and purpose. His bank account began to reflect his inner shift, not through magic, but because his enhanced personal energy made him more effective, resilient, and capable in every area of his life, including finances. His story really illustrates how managing your internal state can support better financial behavior and consequently better outcomes. Arun's story highlights a crucial point. Building wealth is not just about tactics, it's profoundly influenced by our internal landscape. This brings to us the concept of mindset and our deeper motivations. A growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, is increasingly recognized as important for success, including financial context. Companies that fosters this kind of mindset among their employees often report higher productivity and even revenue growth. This is quite different from a fixed mindset, where talents and intelligence are seen as static, which can really limit how much financial improvement you think is possible for yourself. Furthermore, our underlying motivation for wealth plays a huge role. External motivators, just like acquiring possessions, are often less sustainable than internal drivers such as the pursuit of freedom, personal growth, creativity, and making a contribution. When our financial goals are aligned with our deepest values and a sense of purpose, the energy and persistence to achieve them are far greater. This intrinsic motivation is what fuels the consistent effort needed for long-term financial well-being. The idea of money as energy is a perspective some find helpful, but it's not literally scientific definition. It serves as a useful metaphor for understanding our relationship with money. From this viewpoint, money is not just paper or digital numbers. It reflects the value we create, the beliefs we hold about abundance or scarcity, and the intentions behind our financial actions. If we view money through a lens of fear, anxiety, or unworthiness, our interactions with it will likely reflect that. Conversely, cultivating a mindset of gratitude, responsibility, and recognizing money as a tool for positive change can shift how we attract and manage it. This perspective also touches on the idea of abundance block, which can be understood as limiting beliefs or unresolved emotional patterns around money. It often generates from the past experiences or social conditioning. These might include thoughts like money is the root of all evil, I'm not just good with money, or rich people are always greedy. Such beliefs, often operating at a subconscious level, can sabotage our efforts to improve our financial situation, regardless of how good our strategies are. Addressing these requires self-awareness and a willingness to reframe our money story. It's really important to acknowledge that external factors like socio-economic background, education, and systematic issues significantly influence wealth accumulation. However, focusing on our internal energy and mindset empowers us to optimize the factors that are within our control. So, understanding this connection is one thing, actually applying is another. So, how can you start cultivating your personal energy in a way that supports not just your overall well being, but also potentially your financial aspirations? Here are a few practical, research supported starting points. Number one, prioritize your physical well being. This is the foundational. You can't expect to have high mental or emotional energy if your physical body is neglected. Get enough sleep. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. It's known that financial stress is often linked to sleep disorders. Eat well. Fuel your body with whole food. What you eat directly impacts your energy levels and cognitive function. Move your body. Exercise is not just about physical health, it boosts mood, reduces stress, and increases mental clarity. Even short walks can make big difference if you don't have time. Number two, cultivate mental clarity and focus. A scattered mind struggles to make sound decisions, financial or otherwise. Try mindfulness and meditation. Even a few minutes a day can reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance self-awareness. I experienced that. Some research even suggests mindfulness training may support financial well-being. Limit digital distractions. Constant notification and information overload deplete mental energy. Try creating focused work blocks. Practice gratitude, shifting your focus from what's lacking to what you can foster a more positive and resourceful mental state. This simple practice can actually change the environment for your financial decision making. Number three, nurture emotional resilience and intelligence. Your emotions significantly impact your financial behaviors. Identify and reframe limiting beliefs. Become aware of any negative stories or beliefs you hold about money, success, or your own capabilities. Question their validity and consciously work to reframe them. Learn emotional regulation techniques, find healthy ways to process and manage stress, anxiety, or fear rather than letting them drive impulsive financial decisions. Financial therapy is a growing field that addresses exactly this. Connect with positive people, build and maintain supportive relationships. These contribute to emotional energy and provide a buffer against stress. Number 4, align actions with values and purpose. When your financial pursuits are connected to what truly matters to you, your motivation and energy will be much more sustainable. Define your values. What is truly important to you beyond just money? Is it freedom? Is it security? Or is it making a contribution, having certain experiences, or getting recognized? Set meaningful goals. Ensure your financial goals support these deeper values. This creates that powerful intrinsic motivation. Practice self awareness. Regularly check in with yourself. How are your daily activities and financial habits aligning with your core energy and purpose? Self awareness is a keystone habit for positive change. These are not quick fixes, by the way, but ongoing practices. The aim is to build a strong internal foundation by managing your personal energy, as I already said, effectively. When you do this, you enhance your overall capacity to navigate life's challenges, make better decisions, and pursue your goals, including financial ones, with greater clarity, vitality, and resilience. While this internal work doesn't mean you can skip out on practical financial knowledge and strategies, it significantly amplifies that effectiveness. So, this connection between personal energy and wealth, it's not about wishing for riches or having them magically appear. It's about recognizing that your internal state, your mental clarity, your physical vitality, and your emotional resilience and your sense of alignment is a powerful, often underestimated assets. It's the engine that drives your action, shapes your decisions, and ultimately influences the results you achieve in every aspect of life. While the path to financial well being involves many external factors, the journey truly begins within by consciously cultivating your personal energy. You're not just setting the stage for potential financial improvement, you are building a foundation for a richer, more vibrant, and more fulfilling existence, regardless of the numbers in your bank account. Many people find that as they prioritize their overall well being and align their actions with their core values, financial improvements often follow as a natural consequences of living a more energized and purposeful life. The true wealth we seek is often a holistic state encompassing not just financial resources but also time, health, meaningful relationship, and a sense of purpose. And that the journey to your richest life starts with the energy you bring to each day. What are your thoughts on this connection between personal energy and wealth? Have you experienced shifts in your own life when you have focused on your inner state? Share your experience and insights in the comments below, and I'd like to hear from you. And if this resonated with you, please give this a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for more content on unlocking your full potential. And thanks for watching, and here's to cultivating your most abundant life from the inside out.